listening. This is your girl, your diva, Sasha, coming into you live for another episode of Night Talks with Sasha. So, it is Friday, of course. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to me. Absolutely. But it is also a special time this Friday. This Friday is the Friday before Mother's Day. Yay! Mother's Day. So, tonight I had planned to talk about revamping my personal style and giving you some tips, tricks about how to revamp your style on a budget. And I was going to also give you a little tidbit and talk about the history of the word auntie and what it means to have the auntie style or that auntie vibe that a lot of people are clamoring for and rocking today. Because you even have some women that are not even 40 plus years old and they are rocking the auntie vibe. But instead, I'm pivoting. And you know me. I like to pivot sometimes, and I'm pivoting. Tonight, we're talking about the style, I'm going to actually do tomorrow. My weekend is free. And so if you are interested and you want to hear about the history of the auntie vibe and where the word comes from and why so many women feel the way that they do about, because we all heard how Mary J. Blige feels and Ava DuVernay. So, but tonight we're going to talk about mom. This Sunday is Mother's Day. And so I've got a few people that are coming on, and we're going to talk about our moms. And most of the people, the ladies that I do have that are coming on and that are going to participate, our mothers have transitioned. That makes it a even more special and at times a hard occasion to celebrate and enjoy that day of Mother's Day. So, we are going to go on the lighter side of talking about mom. We're going to try to. But you know how it is over here in Sasha Land. We talk about it and whatever happens, happens. If the tears flow, they flow. If a curse word comes out, if somebody has to end the call because it becomes too much, then that's what happens. This is and will forever be a safe space. And in so doing, sometimes things can get a little heavy. And if anyone that is participating tonight feels the need to disengage and it becomes too heavy and becomes too much, it's okay. You can do that. I understand. And it won't be taken personal. Okay? Okay. Great. Now, let's get it popping. I know it came in on a serious note, but it's a serious conversation. If you out there in podcast radio land want to say something about your mom, you want to wish your mom a happy Mother's Day, whether she is here or she's one of your angels, please call in at 515-605-9707 and tell us about your mom, what she means to you, what she means to you, and why you love her, because she's your mama, right? Right. Okay. So one of my guests that's here, Lady T, is coming, but she is a mama bear, and Lady T, is a mama first, and then everything else is second. So since she is a mama first, she's having to do something with her little cub, and so she will be joining us shortly. But until then, you have me, and you have the one, the only, Miss Deidre Gibbs from
Hello.
Magazine. Hi, Miss Gibbs. Wait.
Hi.
Okay, y'all.
How are you? Uh-oh.
I'm great. Y'all, hold on. Today is Miss Gibbs' birthday. Today is her birthday. So,
another year.
Yeah, call. Yep, another great year. So call in and tell her happy birthday. But until then, here we go. You ready? Here we go.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deidre. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, but you and Christy are on the same wavelength of goofiness. But okay, I appreciate it.
Now, you better be glad I didn't do my Mel Monroe edition. Happy birthday.
Okay, that'll be just a tad bit weird. Duh.
I could have made it specifically for you. Happy birthday.
Oh, I know you would.
Miss Editor. Happy birthday. Miss Editor.
Okay. I can't wait to see that costume.
To you.
Just goofy, I don't know what.
And I snorted.
This is your payback for the hot seat, right? Yeah, you ain't said
no safe words over here. No safe words.
Like nobody can smell that nowhere.
Okay. Hi, Deidre. How are you today?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm good.
Goofball.
I'm really good. I told you I was gonna get you. I was gonna get you.
I know you were gonna.
I'm gonna get you again. I'm gonna get you again. You're not even gonna know. You're not even gonna know. So just enjoy it.
Coming, but okay.
Yeah, you didn't know I was gonna sing to you, and you didn't know that my singing was going to sound that nice.
I'm not touching that part. But what I will say is, I know something was coming. Because if I get the evil smiley face and all stuff, yeah, someone's going to try something. So be prepared. Yeah.
Well, I see you won't try to be difficult, but I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about you. You just want to be difficult, but that's okay. Because you're going to enjoy this birthday love.
I wouldn't be a Taurus. What can I say? Taurus are stubborn.
Y'all are just a special breed.
True. And I've learned it. Learned it back in elementary school. So I'm well known for. Yeah, I know I'm stubborn. And sometimes I look back and like, okay, why did I do that?
Well, at least you know. I call that being very self-aware. least you know.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, at least
Especially
you know.
when you have to be aware of when you make people's face change weirdly, and you have to figure out why. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't see nothing wrong with it until I think back about it. I'm like, oh, that's what's it. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, I do that sometimes, too. I used to do that a lot. Like, I would say things to people, and then my husband, he would say, why did you punch so-and-so in the face like that?
No.
And I'm like, what you talking about? I was totally dumbfounded. Like,
she tripped through the glass wall. I just didn't full time.
He would say, no. I said, what to say? No, you punched her in the face.
Y'all looking at me. I'm looking at her, too. She fell.
Yeah, that's what I said. But you know what, though?
What's up?
I have been, like, for the last 3 weeks, I have been doing some intensive therapy, right? With my therapist. And I was telling her,
I said, this is therapy season.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. It's the renewal. It's a renewal. But I was telling her, I'm getting soft. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I actually care about what I say to people now. That's not getting soft. Yes, it is. I'm getting soft. You're making me soft.
You actually starting to care.
Exactly. I'm starting to care.
I know.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing though. It's a good thing.
It is.
It's a good thing.
I went to my phase at an early age because my hormones were ridiculous. To this day, I'm still apologizing for my behavior. So I always try to. Yeah, it was hormones. I got medical proof, so I'm good.
Okay.
But I'm always trying to keep keep it in check because I'm like, is this worth me going off? Because if I get the okay to go off, I'm gonna go full blast.
Oh yeah. I think I had an opportunity to go. This was my growth. Doing this really showed me how much I have grown. Okay. So I had the opportunity to curse somebody out real hard, real bad on social media, on Facebook. I mean, they were deserving of this tongue thrashing. They just came all out the blue. Okay, but then I looked at it and I said, yeah, it was just so random. Like,
yeah.
What? So
all
I said was to them in response was, okay.
Sometimes you don't even have to give them an okay. You just just give them the look or the finger, not giving the middle finger, but just that one finger and just point it up.
Just say, oh, okay. That's all I said. And then it was a man, and he came back, and he was like, he said, well, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You probably are a really nice person, but I've been in therapy. And then he wanted to tell me all this stuff, like he was in therapy and he's been dealing with issues of people saying that. I'm like, and again, I just said,
okay.
and then everything that he had typed and said, he deleted.
People think that delete takes care of everything.
Yeah, he did. He went. I looked at it, and I got a notification on, and it just said that so and so and so and so had, said this, and I went back and to see what else he had said, and then there was nothing there. Like the whole comment, all the comments he had deleted.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like, and the old me would have just.
Yeah.
Pour him a new one. Talked about his mama. Yeah, I would have talked about his daddy. Oh my God, I was so bad. I used to talk about people's mama.
Just go back on them so they can where they wish they would go back and get back to down the grade. Yeah, I know. I've been there.
Yeah. So that's gross, though. I'm so freaking proud of myself.
We're more mature now.
Yeah, let me pat myself in the back. So.
Yeah, we're more mature now. So it takes a lot more than little itty-bitty stuff to get the old way of us to come out. That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah, I do too. And to segue, watch this segue. Watch this.
Okay.
And I think to myself, if my mother was still here, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? How I got us back on topic.
You so clever.
I know. But anyway, I often think to myself, like, I wonder what my mom would say. I could imagine what my mom would say about this me. I could see her saying something to the fact of, it's about time.
Listen, if my mom was here and she was able to see me now, like, she would be impressed that I don't have a criminal record. That's one.
Oh.
But like I said, I got doctor's note to prove my bad behavior. So I'm like, okay.
Oh
it was the hormones.
Oh my God.
Everybody, and then it's like hormones, and then my father was, bless his little soul, that was a feisty man. My mom, it was like having one side angel, one side devil. So it's like, if she wasn't all in my ear, I was going off.
Oh, man.
So DNA.
So, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
How many siblings do you have?
It's 7 of us all together. I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest? You're the baby?
I'm the baby. Yep. My oldest sister is almost 80.
Get out of here.
Yeah, growing up, people thought my siblings were my parents, and my parents were my grandparents. And I had to tell them, no.
Wow. That's wow. I can kind of relate. Well, it wasn't my story, but Michael, he was that way. Like, he has a lot of family members that were a lot older than him. Like, he has a cousin right now that is still living, and she is 83 or 4, maybe 85 now. Yeah.
Like,
so I'm like,
You can get that idea. That's one thing I always say.
Yeah.
Like, I have one niece. My niece is like, she's in her 30s, but she's like my little sister. She's not like my niece. So it's like, you mess with her, you're messing with my little sister.
Wow.
No.
That is so. I love stuff like that. I wish I had siblings like that. I was the only child of an only child.
No. Just because the numbers is all fancy. No. There's some pros and cons. Let's not get it twisted. Let's fix that fairy tale right quick. No, you would think. No, I'm just being serious. You would think that would be a good aspect, but then you also got to keep in fact, especially with the age gaps being as different as they are. So one set of people who raised totally different from the way you were raised. So you got that kind of to deal with. You have views and infighting, and you don't know who fighting who and what power you being used. Girl, no.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, and that's just with the girls. We haven't even got to the boys. It's 5 girls and 2 boys.
Oh wow. Oh damn.
Exactly. And it's not like, this is just a particular thing. I always tell people, my mother was one of 20. So if she had 7 kids, how many do you think her siblings had kids who had kids? So when we have family reunions, that's
your mom.
My mom is one of 20. Yeah. Yeah, we used to have the T-shirt, the family tree T-shirt, and we have this tree where all her and her siblings' names is in the tree, but mine is worn up to where I just cut out and just put it in a frame. But yeah, she's one of 20, all by the same father.
Woo!
So yeah, there's some twins in there. But yeah, all of it. I didn't get to meet my grandmother because she passed from giving birth to all these kids.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to meet her. But
she was tired.
As my mom told me when I was growing up, I was acting like her, especially when it comes to my baking, because my mother didn't teach me nothing about no baking. When I came, she was tired. I was her denial child. She went into labor. She was telling them she was having gas. She is not pregnant. That's what I got to grow up hearing. So I'm like, I just learned to accept it. I'm like, surprise, you did it one too many times. And what you get out of it is you get this one big fat chick. Shit to the point where I'm like, I feel bad that I came out that way. But I'm like, jeez, because I came out almost 11 pounds.
Whoa.
That's why I feel really bad for her.
And it was vaginal?
I believe so. I think so.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yes,
I was a cesarean. Damn, I can't talk. You got me flabbergasted.
Yeah, I was like,
cesarean birth.
I thought you going into fairyland. I'm like, oh no, we gonna. I'm gonna make sure you see that warning sign. No.
Yeah. I was a big baby too, so I can't really say anything. I was almost 9 pounds at birth.
Yeah, I have to look at my
mom had gestational
10 pounds 11 ounces or 11 pounds 10 ounces. I just know those two numbers are in my weight coming out to the world.
And for me to be as short as I am now, I was a long baby. I was like 23 inches long.
I don't even know how tall I was. I always thought growing up around, I was like, I was short. I'm not the shortest one, but I'm like, I'm not the tallest one either. So I'm like, because I'm like 5'7", 5'8", and I have, I want to say, maybe two or three of my sisters. They're short, a little bit shorter than me, and I have one sister that's taller. The brothers, just like, yeah.
So the reason I asked how many siblings that you had was because, of course, as I said, I am an only child. Okay.
Yeah.
And my mom was an only child, so I was an only child born to an only child.
You're the only child. Yeah.
Yeah, but I lived in a house, and when you talk about the different generations, I can get that. I understand that. But mine was different. Yeah. It wasn't like my siblings. It was my grandmother. Because I lived with my mom, my great-grandmother, and my nanny. I called her nanny. This is my grandma.
Yeah.
And we were all 4 generations that lived in one house. And you're right, that generational gap between, like, oh, no.
Yeah. Because I noticed it, like, at family reunions, and we have a family page, and I hear, like, there's certain phrases that I see only the elders, like the ones who are much older, you have this terminology that they use. Where I'm like, okay, so it ain't just you, it's all of y'all. Okay. But yeah, I have.
Yeah, they do.
I got to know one grandmother, and that was my grandmother on my dad's side, and we call her Mama Florence. And that woman, I didn't get to really grow up with her. I knew of her, but I got to spend a little time with her. So, but with the times that I did, because I have a picture where she came to one of my graduations, and I'm like, that was, and I look at that picture and I laugh, because every time I see it, I see my dad standing in the background. I'm like, the only reason he's standing right there and not acting a fool because his mama was right there. Every time I look at that picture, that's what the first thing that goes to my mind. Because me and my dad, we joke around so much. That's where I got a lot of my sense of humor and my prank. I'm a prankster, and I got that from him. I inherit that from him. I can give you a list of people who can vouch that I pull pranks, and they hate it. Even if I give them a heads up, I'm bored. I'm about to play a prank on you, and they're still shocked. I'm like, I gave you a heads up. But yeah, I got to spend time with her, so I got a little bit of getting to know a grandmother.
Well, that's good. I didn't get a chance to meet my father's mother. My father's mother died really young. She wasn't quite 40 years old when she died. She died of an aneurysm in her sleep.
Oh, okay.
And my dad was the oldest of 6, and the youngest is a girl, my aunt, and she was like, I think my aunt was 5 when her mom passed. She was 4 or 5. She was still at home. She hadn't went to school yet, so she was actually in the bed with her mom when they found her dead. Yeah. So I never got a chance to meet. And my dad's mom, her name was Bet Ann. it's a lot of dead ends on my dad's side of the family. My dad's side of the family is really large, but I have seen quite a few. I can't even say quite a few, but there was these exhibits that was done here in town about local black schools, before desegregation. And my mom saw it, and she wanted me to look at it. She's like, "Do you see anyone in these particular pictures that may look familiar to you?" And I kept looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "That little girl looks familiar. She looks sort of like me." And my mom was like, "That's your grandmother. That's your dad's mom." And so I got to see a picture of her when she had to be at least 7 or 8 years old, and just like me at that age, I was a big girl, so I was bigger than everybody else in my class pictures, and my grandmother was my dad's mom, Grandma Betty. She was the same way, and it was just like looking in a mirror. I had her face and everything.
Cool moment.
Yes, and I was like, when my dad passed the first of this year. Well, last year. No, this year. Excuse me. My dad passed in December, but we didn't have his memorial until his birthday, which was January the 7th. Okay, that's what it was. I'm sorry. And so seeing my uncles that have not seen me, because my family unfortunately is not super close like that. So I have quite a few uncles and my aunt, and they saw me and they hadn't seen me in a long time. And the first thing that one of my uncles said, same as Anthony, the first thing that Anthony said was, "Wow, you look just like Mama." And that's sweet. I was like,
I like the fact that your memories, they're like, and it kind of gives an idea of that character that goes through the bloodline. It's like, because it makes you feel a certain type of way. It flows through the bloodline. Mm-hmm. My bloodline always has people laughing. I'm listening to you. Oh no, I ain't told you, gave you no stories yet. It's like, because it's like, I'm hearing that, it's like, okay, I see the differences, but I was like, I can hear, like, it's just like through the bloodlines, because you're hearing about your grandmother and how it's transiting, and it's going through you, because you do so many things, so many people just go, So okay, she gets to be I get to be looking at that crazy because I'm making people laugh, and I don't know why. Now I'm understanding why. Because like I was saying, I have like the situations I have like with my grandmother. It's like when she went to that graduation, like that graduation picture that I have of her. She gave me a card, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Thank you. Can't call her grandma. It's Mama Florence. She wasn't doing the grandma thing. I'm Mama Florence. And I was like, okay. I opened the card, and it's a sympathy card and $5. I cannot tell if she was just giving me the heads up to what the future is going to be like, or was Alzheimer's kicking in, or was it a combo? But this is the person who raised me to give me insight of how my father was. That's his mama.
She gave you a sympathy card and $5?
A sympathy card and $5. I have every card that I've gotten throughout my life, and I have every card that my mom has gotten that she kept. So I have all that stuff with me to this day. I have a briefcase full of it. It's just full of letters and cards. People, because with her, there was always this thing about communication. She's always wanted to have that communication, and that's the same with me. And I didn't get to know that of her. That's the one thing I search for when I deal with my siblings. I always reach for try to get different stories from them, because the mother that raised them is a completely different mother who raised me, because that was a whole different era in her life. And by the time I came around, it was when her body was breaking down, and her anxiety and depression was kicking in. So I got to experience a different person than what they experienced. So I always look for different stories, and then when I get a story, I got to go through the other ones to confirm that story was true, and to fact check it.
Yeah. So you never got. I hate that. Well, I get it, because you hear people talk about now how parents are wanting to be their friends to their kids. My mom wasn't like that.
No, I can say for me, my mom was my mother. She was my best friend. To a degree, she was my child. I had a child for 8 years. Took care of her for 8 years. I couldn't bear a child. So I got to live through being a mother through her. Because I'm like, people thought I was crazy. I banned her from watching Jerry Springer. My niece came home from school, and she went into her room smiling, but came out just dead face. I don't know what the hell just happened to me. Jerry Springer had something on about teen moms. This child was not thinking about. This was nowhere in the mindset of sex. On there about looking at boys, and she just switched that to where that child was just shook.
Oh no, she wanted to get her. Yeah, that's supposed to back then. That's when you shake her. You make a girl so scared that she never wants to have.
It's just dumbfounded.
She never wants to have sex. Yeah. I remember that conversation between me and my mom.
Now, one thing when you were saying about the photo, that reminded me a moment with my mom. I was reading to her, and I read to her J. California Cooper.
Get out of here!
No.
The reason I say that is because.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Well, the reason I was like that, I said that was because my mom too loved J. California Cooper, and for Mother's Day one year, I bought my mom a set of her, like it was a 3-part story, a 2-part story, I think it was. I can't remember what the story was, but I bought my mom both of those books for Mother's Day.
Oh, no. See, I have a sister that's a librarian, so I have book access till the day I croak. But no, now my mother, because my mother's so old, so she can go back to when they were picking cotton. So I was reading her one of these stories, and with this little girl, I remember to this day, it was this little girl, she skipped school to go work in the field to pick cotton because she wanted to help her family. But in the story, it said that she thought it was going to be easy. I promise you to this day now, I still have the memory of my mother laughing so hard because it brought up a memory for her. Because I'm like, no way. Who do hell? That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazier thing about it, at my mom's funeral, right across the street, we have the shrine of, like, it's the Shrine of Black Madonna. It's a Black cultural center. And they'll, like, they have all these exhibits and stuff like that. Guess who was doing a book signing?
J. California Cooper.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. I'll say that's so awesome. Yeah,
you might have reminded me that when you were talking about the picture.
The picture.
Yeah.
My mom, I remember her telling me, because my mom was born in 1955. And I remember her telling me the story about her grandmother, her father's mother, was still picking cotton in like 1958, 59. My mom was like, she was 3 or 4, she couldn't remember exactly, but she was 3 or 4 years old. And she said that she was out there with her grandmother, and her grandmother had this sack, and she was picking cotton. And my mom was like, and I remember being a little girl sitting on the sack on the ground while my grandmother picked cotton. She's like, that was my exposure to knowing about picking cotton. And then, of course, my great-grandmother, who was born in 1922, she also had to pick cotton. But the majority I remember of my great-grandmother, she was a domestic. She was a maid. And that was her job. And I can remember my grandmother. My grandmother she was a young mom. She had my mom when she was 16, 17 years old. And she had to get a job. You know, you had a baby, you getting a baby now, you got to go to work. And she was working with her mother at some white lady's house, of course. And she did 8 hours of work, and my grandmother was pregnant with her first baby. And the woman cleaned the woman's whole house, and she said, that damn woman paid me $5. I was so mad. I was so mad. Like, I'll never do this again. And she said, and I didn't. I did other odds and ends and other little jobs until after my baby was born. And then I went into, she went into the mill, because that was really big around in this area. Yeah, industrial mills. And that's what my grandmother did until she was forced to retire because of an injury. Yeah, so
I know how bad that looks.
Yeah, it was bad. But speaking of, now there were a lot of, my mom and I, like I said, she was my mother, and our relationship did not really change until after I graduated high school. It was like I graduated, my mom helped me through high school because I hated it. When I tell you I hated high school, I hated it. So my mom really encouraged me to go through high school because I wanted to quit and get my GED. She was like, no, you're going to go through.
And my mom was so opposite. She was to a point when, because she knew all I did was I was like, I had to get in every day there was some type of fight. People try to bully. The people think it's like, oh, you couldn't get her, I'm going to get her. We're like, wrong. So there'll be days where I'm just like, I don't feel like this crap today. She was like, stay home. Okay. And then when I would always, and plus as a kid, I was always getting sick. So it was more like, okay, you can stay. That was the nurse in her. We need to figure this out. That kind of stuff. But when it came to schooling, that's why I say I dealt with a different mother than my older sisters. My siblings, the rest of my the women in my family, they have master's and bachelor's degrees. Me, I'm a GED. I have no problem with it. There was no way. I was like, I finished, doing senior work, but because certain grades didn't transfer over, so you want me to repeat like freshman stuff. Like, oh no, no, yeah, we're not gonna do that. So, I have no problem with cooking. Yeah, I have that GED. That GED was taken only once. So no, nice job.
Hey, at least you got it. Like, but my mom was. That was not. My mom was in high school, and even now, when people talk about my mom, and they went to school with her, she was uber popular. And not only was she popular in high school, but my mom was involved in a lot of school. She was like class president. Yeah, she was class president. Yeah, like
my parents, from what I've been told, they got together in middle school. They didn't even go to high school. My mom got her. Eventually, my mom got her GED. Then she went into nursing, got her nursing degree, and moved up and moved on from there. But I don't think because they lived in the country. They were in the country life. They Yorkshire, Texas. It wasn't like Katy, Texas. No, it wasn't. It was farm life for the most part. So back then in those days, it was a lot different.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
my parents. They went to dueling high school. Yeah, it was like my mom went to. She was a gladiator, and my dad went to West Strome, which was Chieftain, and so they went to those two high schools in my hometown. They were dueling, East Strome and West Strome. That they were competition against each other, and so they met right after high school. My mom was 20. Well, they were in high school, but my mom was like 22 when her and my dad got married. So it wasn't long. It wasn't long after. And I keep saying my mom. I'm going to tell y'all my mom's name. Her name, Emily. My mom's name was Emily. Yeah, Emily Ann, and it was Ann without the E. Please do not put the Ann with an E for my mother. She would just raise all kinds of sand and hail. That is not how you spell my name. And then as I come along, and my name is Shalonda, and people would call me everything Shalanda, Yolanda Long. And
Girl.
I wouldn't answer people, and my mom would be like, "You have to answer people when they call your name," and I'm like, "You didn't."
Dang. My mom's name, laughing. My mom's name, it was Luverta. Try getting spelling that one. Like, 'cause one of my sister's names is Lou, and her middle name is Verta. So she was named after our mom. But, yeah, people would not get, they would Lou Verdier. I'm like, there ain't no hyphen in this.
Come on now.
Oh, they messed up Deidre. Deidre. There's no,
Yeah.
I'm not Dr. Dre's family, so you can cut the Dre. Then they
Deidre.
tell me my name. You're like, oh, it's, you French? I'm like, there's no French in me. I the only thing French in me is French fries. No.
You okay?
But I'm serious.
You okay?
No.
Okay, hold on.
Your name so bad to the point where I'm just like, just call me Dee Dee. God dang it. You cannot mess up Dee Dee.
Yeah.
You would think they could not mess up Dee Dee, but they can.
I've had to change my name over in the last year. Yeah. I've had to actually change my spelling of my name. Because someone for 46 years I was told by my mother to spell my name SHALANDA. And I never looked any differently. I didn't have to. I mean, my mama said that's my name. That was my name. Everywhere I've looked, I've been SHA. My birth certificate says SHO.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I've now said
my name came out of a book, and my mom let my siblings, older siblings, name me from the book. When we can say my siblings were not eager about having a baby around the house. Because they
were babied out.
Huh? Yeah.
They were babied out.
Because they like, I'm in college. I'm, dealing with my own life. I'm dealing with who's gonna raise this thing?
Oh my God.
And let me tell you how I feel about this by picking her name. Why was I given this info?
Because they wanted
now,
to know.
every time when I bring it up, they just like, we thought it was a pretty name.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty much sums up. You weren't in the mood about dealing with no damn diapers.
Well, my middle name, it's sort of French, but my mom wanted to name me. There used to be in the late 70s. There was this lady. She was a French. She had a French name. She was an actress, and my mom saw her on the Love Boat. It's a story that she told me. She said, I saw her on the Love Boat, and she said, and I wanted to name you this, but your dad was like, no. I'm like, what was it? Yvette Menu. And he said, she's like, and
no.
Your father said, and I quote, we are not naming my baby no damn shit.
Oh boy.
Event manure.
We just as direct without even knowing how direct we are.
Yep. Right?
That's fun.
Name him out. So she's like, I just decided, because people were telling her to name me Kenya. So like, her sister, my aunt, was telling my mom to name me Kenya. And my mom was like, I don't like that. And so when she did name me, my Aunt Janice told my mom, why you get that baby that long ass name? That name go all across that baby chest.
Dang. Oh my Lord.
Because my first name has 8 letters.
Oh no, if anything, I feel bad for my niece. My niece's name, because she got 2 little names. So it's like when she get called out if she did something stupid, you get Rashonda Elise Monet. To where automatically, I gave her nicknames to where she knew she was in trouble with me. Anybody else, they would use her full name. I'm like, don't y'all tie it before you even get to the last one?
Say it again.
Her name is Rashonda Elise Monet.
Rashonda Elise Monet.
Monet Gibbs. That's my
a lot of names.
Government niece. That's my. I had 2 little sisters. I had her and my friend who passed away last year. And here's the funny secret thing about those 2. There's one letter that's different between both their names. One's Roshonda and one's Roshonda. One birthday is in November, the other one is in December. So and it's around the same time. I don't know what sign or whatever it is, but I was like, they both crazy. But I'm like, it's like I have an older version and the younger version, and I'm stuck in the middle. Don't get me wrong, I love being in the middle, but I'm like, God. And the other one's not even related. How the hoodoo? But I'm just like, okay. This is okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
shut up.
That's funny.
What part?
Well, all of it.
I'm curious. Okay.
I'm just laughing at the name. You don't know what size is. Okay, well.
Yeah,
he's probably a Leo.
They both in the same realm. Because one is December 17th, and the other one is November, I want to say 17th as well. So they, if it's my month, they smack in the middle for both.
It sounds like Scorpio.
Because I'm like, I have one was always carrying, just like when she did an African commission to Africa, or doing the fundraiser, doing the feeding the homeless and stuff like that. We good. The other one is just plain boss. She's the boss. Do you get internet in your apartment? Let me call your apartment and find out if you do. I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to answer the first question, but okay, don't do that. She has a baby. Let me send her flowers. Forget to sign it. Why I get a phone call from the flower company wanting to know, is it okay to tell this woman that it was from me, because she's calling them trying to figure out who the hell gave her flowers. And she wasn't going to get off the phone until she got an answer.
the niece just had the baby?
Yeah, she had a girl, so she's screwed. All that attitude stuff is coming right back to her. Yeah. I saw that early on in that little girl, because I saw the little change in her eyes when she was being silly. She went, I'm devious now. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, and even if I don't hear the stories, I know it's happening.
That's crazy.
I saw the
Excuse me.
I saw the switch. Because that kid got
what
it.
What happens though? Oh my God.
No, it's funny because it's like I try to what.
Well, I was thinking like you talking about you seeing the switch. So I was thinking about I have a little cousin, and my little cousin was the closest thing that I had to a baby sister, right?
Okay.
And I remember her when she was a little girl, and she was in pigtails, and she just cute, this cute little girl. And then at 17, oh my God. I didn't know what to do because she had popped out here and she popped out there and she popped out up there and she was and we go to the mall and she's walking and hey, shawty, what's up? Don't do that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Don't come over here. She ain't your ass too old.
I like the fact that I had moments in her life to where like I know that I was a chaperone at one point. She thought I was gonna be the one that sit way in the back of the movie theater while you sitting down next to a boy. I'm like, no, not quite.
Not today.
I'm right
not
in between. I'm like, one, you lied to me, so therefore you must pay. So therefore, I will be sitting right in between both of you with my arms around both of you back and telling him embarrassing stuff about you as a baby.
Oh, Lord. I didn't sit between them. I sat behind them. And I stood every time he would go over there and try to touch on her and all that. I threw popcorn.
That happen down where you don't see. No. See, you wouldn't have to go through this if you wouldn't lie. Lying would, I'm the honest one. Like, okay, because when my niece started popping out, I was like, and I remember it was I realized how boys were starting to attract to her because I was at a Bow Wow concert.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and she had on her jeans and stuff. And boys were turning around, looking up, walking past, turning their heads. I'm like, turn your head right back and keep straight.
I know it. Little asshole.
I'm like, no.
I know it. You made me so mad.
I'm like,
what up, Shawty? Who is that, your mama?
Even though I know I'm not going to have to deal with the brunt of this, because she got 3 other aunts that's going to take some of this too. But let me get her settled real quick. So I'm like, I will always have your back. All that kind of stuff like that. You can always come to me with anything. Just don't lie. I won't ever lie to you. You don't lie to me. And that's how we are to this day, to where she felt like she's blowing off steam, thinking, she's cussing. I'm like, stay space. Get it out your system. That's still safe. But no.
Yeah. I feel that. Yeah. I try to be there for my cousin, but now
with her and her kid, when I say she up the creek, her little girl is 2 now. So you're dealing with terrible 2s.
Hold on.
Now, talk about temper tantrums and the little fallout. Oh no, this is when the little kid realized she's screwed. because she was like thinking she's gonna fall out in front of three of her great aunt. She's on the floor just and we all laughing. And she stopped looking like, what the hell? That doesn't work on us. You kid. That ain't gonna work. That only works with mom and dad. You around us, that don't work.
Yeah.
She got up and like, oh damn. Literally, she got up and was like, oh well, damn. Okay, and got back to doing what she had to do.
Exactly.
It wasn't gonna work.
No, that is not. My mom used to, and I do it now too. Like, you be in the store. I remember being in Walmart one time, and this little Hispanic child was opening up crackers on the cookie aisle, and he had opened up like 3 boxes of crackers, and he would slip his hand in there, open it up, get him a cracker, and put the damn thing back on the box on the shelf. And the mom was just standing there like nothing was going on. I looked at that little boy. I gave him the evil.
Okay.
I gave him the evil mama eye. Put that. That's what I said.
I'm about to give you a confession. I was in a Walmart, and I was with somebody who was like that with their kid. Let their kid do anything, and I'm just looking like, you're gonna do something, right? Because this kid was this was a little boy, and she had him in the cart, sitting on that little seat. So she thought he was contained that way. No, his little badass would, like, if somebody was coming down the aisle, he would grab stuff off of their cart and just, like, I remember he was squeezing, trying to tear up people's bread and throwing it back. Like, he can do whatever he wants, even if he's sitting there. And I'm looking at her like, are you gonna put this in check or do I have to?
Exactly.
And she said, I had to. I'm like, okay. And let me tell you, okay, if one end of Walmart is the dairy section, Mom was on the other end with the produce, and she could still hear that kid screaming all the way from at the dairy because I was whooping his butt, and I was getting applauded. Because I took him over and I started whooping his ass. I spanked. And I got people that was fighting. And then the crazy part was,
this woman,
to the day that child sees me, he shuts up and goes sit down.
I know he do. He's scared as hell.
I know, exactly. No, like, not around me, no. You're not going to embarrass me. We got enough crap as it is.
Yeah, this woman, she had her kid up there, and she saw me looking at her, and I said, don't, stop this. And then she gonna roll off and not get the boxes of crackers that he opened, and just leave them there. This lady picked them up off the shelf and took them and threw them in her cart. She started speaking in Spanish to her, like, what are you doing? And she's like, no, your kid opened those. You buy. That woman got the hell on. She looked at all of us. We're all these women on this aisle. She looked at us. She was like, oh, let me go. You let me crazy.
That's money. Yeah. You pay. I rather don't want to. Because when I brought that kid, back to his mama, she gonna tell me like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, not as much as I am for you, because you gotta take that home.
Exactly.
That's one thing I can't stand. This is one thing I can't stand is mothers who don't take care of their kids. I've dealt with growing up. I've seen too many females always have the grandparents raise them. They show because the kids give the grandmother the respect. They don't give the mom the respect because mom's not there, and it shows. And you're showing it. You're acknowledging it. but yet you want to be offended by it. You can't be offended and do it at the same time. You can't say, oh, it's not. No, it's like that, and this is the price you pay. So therefore, you do it. This is the repercussions for it. Because I've always been an advocate. You can teach a child to do anything. In the end, it's up to the child to make a decision. But it's at a certain age. If you're not teaching them to know the difference, that's another story. And that's at a younger age. And I'm talking about kids from 0 to 6. Because from 6 on up, they are comprehending a lot better than you thought that they could. And they're seeing you don't give a damn, so they don't care either.
Well, you have kids don't come here with knowledge of anything. As a parent, that's, and I don't just say parent, because I do believe, I think we've gotten too far away from it, but I do believe in that village. And with that village, you have to show kids what to do, how to do, because they don't know. And if you don't teach them, and sometimes you teach them a lot of times they are being taught by mirroring your behavior. So if you're as a parent or a caregiver doing ratchet shit
in your village, because they're still being taught by other people who are around them, but unfortunately that village is not a good representation for your child. So you're bringing that in, so this is what your child sees, so therefore this is what your child knows. This is all your child knows, because this is all brought around your child.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
To teach this, but he grew up, all he knew was being around drugs. My youngest brother was a drug addict. That's all he knew.
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry. Oh, we got cut off. Off.
We only been on for an hour and 17 minutes.
I know. I set the time wrong. It was me. When I set the show up, I didn't set it up for enough time. I thought I did. And and it just went. So it went for 15 minutes, but then it cut off, but then it kept recording for an hour. And I was looking at it, and I was trying to text Toria, because she's trying to get in, and I just missed all the time to cut the show off, because it just ended. So, oh well, it's okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, it was just a free fall.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll redo.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be busy.
Huh?
I said, I'm going to be busy tomorrow, because I'm going to be busy, because I'm going to hear more about the auntie.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting, because I caught myself trying to research where the term actually originated from. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just from Africa. A lot of people think it's just from Africa that the auntie term comes from, but it's not. So I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. But if you got time after you get done, if you got it, jump on. Hey, it's just gonna be probably me anyway.
Okay.
So
time is it gonna be? Same time?
Yeah, it'll be the same time, 9:00.
Yeah, then I might be done, because I was thinking it was probably might be during the day.
Nah, I'll do it at 9, because I actually got some stuff that I gotta take care of tomorrow myself. I want to go out and do, because I want to go to my mom's grave and my grandmother's. So I want to get some flowers.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what one doing too.
Yeah.
And, this is gonna be the first time since we placed her there that I've been back.
Yes, it's been some years for me as well, so I understand. And I may have waited too late to get them because the way that the tombstones are set up on my mom and my grandmother's tombstone, you would actually put flowers down in the little vase.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those seem to go quick.
I think that was the last time I went was when and we went to go check to see how her marker came out. And my mom passed back in 2004.
Oh wow! The last time I went was sometime in 2019, and I went then because of my dad.
Yeah.
But before then, I had been.
My dad is he's in the country, but he's like basically if it's on the stripper road, he's on the side. It's like this little patch. And it's like little bitty small little burial site, and he's over there.
Yeah, my dad is up at the Veterans Memorial because he was a veteran, so his ashes are there. And I've never went to see it. Like they told me, I think somebody may have, when I got all that, my aunt may have told them that I couldn't bring it up there and all that kind of stuff and come and see it, that I was sick, because they were supposed to call me and let me know when his marker and everything was going to be done. It was supposed to take a while. But that was last year. So it should have
been done.
Wait, I keep getting these damn dates. Like all this stuff is running. Honestly, I can't really remember the date. Like it all ran together. Like it's just like I was underwater and I don't remember.
I'm like, for me, it's the years. It's like I knew it was back in 2004 because I went and got my nursing certification in 2005 after she passed. So that's when I was able to remember hers. My dad, I don't really remember when. I knew it was around my niece's birthday because we got the call that she passed when my sister took her out to New York for her birthday, and we had to call them to come back. So it took other situations for me to register for them. But if it wasn't for that, I would not. It's like my body physically will remember it, but my brain is refusing it.
It's a gap. For me, it's a clear space. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, a blank. It could be peaceful. Yeah. It could be whatever, but it's just blank. That's one thing I was telling my psychiatrist. I'm like, because I was telling him, I'm trying to figure out what is going on with my memory. My memory is a lot sharper than it is, and it's not just because I'm getting older. And at first I told my primary, she thought I was talking about Alzheimer's. I'm like, no, I know I don't have Alzheimer's. I'm not going that crazy. Well, and then I told my behavior counselor, she because I'm an overthinker, I'm just overthinking it. I'm like, no, that ain't it. When I finally talked to my psychiatrist, she was like, no, that's part of your PTSD. I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that explains it.
I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that I have some. I believe that I had PTSD.
Yeah, I got it.
When my mom first died.
Oh, that's what.
And that was in 2000.
When it came to my mom, I was soaked. At one point, even though we were in the hospital, I was soaked in her blood. And I could not get nobody a new shirt, or I know I'm a chunky girl, but something instead of me walking around soaked in my mom's blood.
Oh my God! What happened to your mom?
She was a double amputee, renal. She was a diabetic, and she had renal failure, so she was on dialysis. But they sent her into the hospital. She had a ruptured blood vessel, so she was bleeding out. So we got her to the hospital, and I just gave it. At first, I was like, because it had stopped, but when we was in the emergency room, and I was giving them a time frame of like when it happened from when she came back from dialysis, came home,